Yes, I'm here today to tell you all about how you can transform your council's email campaigns by using a system like MailChimp. As I just explained, my name is Claire Lucas. I'm the founder of Ducks in a Row, which is an outsourcing agency based in Suffolk, and we help businesses with their email marketing, with their social media, their projects, their events, and many other things. And as I said, I am a parish clerk for a very small parish in Suffolk. But what I'm really, really passionate about is empowering others to leverage technology tools to enhance your productivity. I love helping other people get their ducks in a row, and that is why I love the brand so much, because we can use it in so many ways. So, first of all, many clerks solely use Gmail or Outlook for their emails. And these platforms are great for everyday communications, but not so great for email newsletters to your parish and wider communications. And I'm going to go into why in just a second. The other thing that I was talking about over the last week is making sure that even if when you're using Gmail or Outlook for your everyday emails, that your counsellors do have their own council emails and they're not using their personal ones, because it's a very grey area if there are any freedom of information requests, because all of those personal emails will be delved deep into. So I would always, as a top tip, make sure that your counsellors are set up using Gmail or Outlook with their counsellor emails. So why would we not want to use those for wider communications? And it all boils down to the General Data Protection Regulation, as we know it, GDPR compliance. So in Gmail or Outlook, what are you going to do if you accidentally send out an email to a really large distribution list and you don't use blind copy? So you send it out, and everybody that you've sent it to has seen everybody else's email addresses in there that you have also sent that email to. This means that you will have breached data regulations, and that is something that we really, really want to avoid. What's great about MailChimp is that the tools and resources allow you to stay compliant with the General Data Protection Regulation and easily gather consent for your marketing campaigns. And that's what we want. We want people who are consenting. They want to be receiving whatever it is that you're sending out. We don't want you to be sending it to people that don't want it. So other benefits of using MailChimp. So if you have, as we already spoke about a little bit earlier on, if you have 500 email addresses on your database or less, you can use MailChimp for free. The platform is free to use. The functionality is quite limited, but you can get started and it's not going to cost you a penny. So you can easily create visually appealing campaigns after just a little bit of training, and make some really great newsletters to send out to your parishioners and get them engaged. You can tell them all about the events that are coming up. You can tell them lots of information, and it can jump into their inbox and it looks nice. They want to open it. It's not just a standard email. You can keep your parish council email newsletters consistent because you can upload in there if you've got a logo, you've got specific brand colours, you can put all of that information in MailChimp and it will remember it and you can reuse your templates. And remember that polished communication campaigns have a really positive impact on your community's perception of your parish council or your council. So if we're sending out, emails willy-nilly and they're not, they've got grammatical issues or they're just a bit boring or the punctuation's not great, it's not a good look for your council. So by sending out on MailChimp, we can make sure it looks really good. And then that does have a positive impact. In MailChimp, you can use what they call tags and segments, and you can target communications for specific groups to ensure that messages that are sent out are relevant to that audience. So on here at the bottom, you'll see you've got your all subscribers list. So you can send emails really easily to everybody who's on your list. You might also then have, like we do, we have litter picking groups, which go across counsellors and parishioners, and they get together once a quarter and they go and do some litter picking, and they might, do some general maintenance. So I could choose those people who are in that group from my list and create a tag, and then I can send emails out to them that are relevant to them but would not be relevant to everybody else on that list. And it's the same for events. We have events within our village, in our parish, and we can ask others to put their events in as well that are coming up in the next few weeks or months. So we can send an email that again goes across not just to counsellors, but it can go across to those people who might run coffee mornings or quiz nights or whatever it might be. So it's just it keeps everything really simple. And once you've created a campaign, you can reuse the template. So it might be that each month you have similar items that you want to go into a newsletter. So every month we have a chairman's update, and obviously it's got a heading, which is chairman's update. And then it's just a case of copying and pasting the new text and formatting it into the new newsletter. We also have a meet the counsellor section. So it's just a case of changing the photograph and changing the images, but the actual structure of the template remains the same time after time, which makes you much more efficient, and then you've got time to go and do other things. So even with the free version of MailChimp, you can get basic analytics to monitor. So you can find out who has opened your email, who has clicked through on any of the links that you've put in that email, whether you've sent people to your website or to somewhere else. You can also see what email addresses have bounced back. And it might be that they've been entered into MailChimp incorrectly. There might be a typo in the email address, but you'll be able to identify that. And you'll also be able to see who has unsubscribed. And it might be that they've moved out of the parish, or, it's usually for us, anybody that unsubscribes is because they've moved away. But you can see that, and that's really useful information. So to sign up to MailChimp, you go to mailchimp.com, and if you see up at the top right hand side, there is a yellow sign up button, and you click on that button, and that's where you will go to sign up. And you'll then be taken to this page. So this is where you can choose to have the free MailChimp account if you've got less than 500 email addresses to go in. And then you click on the sign up free button and you just follow the process. It's as simple as that. You get sent to this page. So you're asked for a username and password. And what I would say is that your username, I always use my email address. So if you've got a clerking email address, I would put that in there. And then you pop your password in, and then you have set up an account. And then you will all be set up and ready to go. So you'll be ready to delve in and start creating and looking at those templates. So if you sign up to MailChimp and you don't know where to start, some of you in the poll said that you'd started using it but got a little bit stuck. I run some 1-hour sessions that help you to learn the basics, to stop you getting overwhelmed, basically, and build up your confidence. And in those sessions, it's all about you being able to ask as many questions as you want. You have some support afterwards if you go away and start using it and then you think, oh, I've got a question, I'm not sure. You get all of my contact details so that you can ask those questions. And what we do in that 1 hour is we navigate what the dashboard is. We go through how to add your contacts, either uploading an Excel spreadsheet and importing them in, or then adding on contacts as they drip feed in. So you might have 1 or 2 to add once you've imported your main contact list. And we then delve into how to create your first email campaign. So we look at setting up a template, we look at all of the functionality and how you can add your logo, and how you can change colors and fonts and drag and drop all your images and text and all your different boxes in, so that you'll know how to set up a MailChimp template that you'll be able to go away, use and reuse and reuse. We'll go to any questions in just a second, and if you want to scan the QR code or take down the contact details on there is more information on the website. There's my email address if you've got any questions for me. I also offer some training sessions specifically for clerks. All of these sessions are just for clerks, on how to use Canva, so how you can create designs for Facebook and social media, how you can design posters for your notice boards. Canva's really easy when you know how to use it. So again, after an hour session, you can go away. There is a free version of Canva. All of the sessions that I hold are on software that is free for you to get started. I also talk about Trello, which is a project management tool, but you don't need to use it for that. What you could do is organize all of your work on boards for each month of the year so that you know what's coming up. And I also look at Google Suite and how you can better utilize your emails, your calendar, and you can, I teach you how to set up your contacts and things like that. So they're tailored specifically for parish clerks, and we help you use those tools in your roles to make you more productive and more efficient. So I'm going to stop sharing this and ask if anybody has any questions.
Cool. Just before we jump to questions, just to show, like Claire was talking about GDPR there, just a little feature some people may not be aware on with Scribe, all our products. We have a CRM here of all your customers, suppliers, etc., which is shared across all the applications. And, one thing we do is keep an audit trail history of all the kind of interactions with that contact. So that's my contact there. And you can see all the related records. So reservations on allotments, bookings, tasks that were assigned to me, invoices and receipts created. So if there was ever a right to be forgotten or FOI request, you don't need to go hunting for that those records in spreadsheets or other systems. It's all centralized there in one place. So it's a nice little extra feature there that you get. Okay, thank you, Claire, for that brief overview of MailChimp and the kind of use cases and how to get started with it. Does anyone going to go over to the floor there? Any particular questions that you might have? Feel free to raise your hand or drop a question in the chat and we'll get you on to ask a question. What are your main concerns or unknowns about using MailChimp? Sue, do you want to come on, Sue? Unmute yourself.
Hi. So I would just really like a bit more. I've not used MailChimp before. What would the finished product look like if I was to create a campaign of some sort? What sort of effect would it produce?
That's a really good question, Sue. And what you probably don't realise is that you get multiple MailChimp emails in your inbox, probably on a regular basis, because most big organisations, and if you buy anything, they all use MailChimp. So that's quite a broad sort of question. I don't have anything that I can show you specifically at the moment. But basically, when you set it up, you can have your headers in there. You can drag and drop any images in, and it just makes it really kind of streamlined. And because you can put those images in, you can put separators between text, and you can color different boxes. It makes it a lot more presentable than just sending out just an email that is just text. And what you find is that people are more engaged and they want to read it because the text is all separated. They can clearly read paragraphs without it just being one big block. Does that does, I know that that's
I can actually, yeah, I can build on that, so I do use MailChimp
brilliant.
myself.
Thank you.
I run a group, a meetup group in Norwich, which has over 1,000 members. So I'm often, for events, I will be sending out campaigns. I mean, these are all my past campaigns, so all campaigns there. I've got an audience of 1,200 there. And I've got all my previous campaigns that I sent, inviting them to an event I was organizing, trying to sell the tickets. And you get the high level stats here, the percentage of opens and clicks on any links, or the actual number of opens. And so those are all I can go in more depth into a report there and have a look. And then, so I've got all the opens, the clicks, the bounces, which Claire was talking about, emails that are no longer valid because a lot of the members on my group are university students. So they obviously leave, or people leave their jobs. Then I've got the unsubscribes happened in that report, and the links that were clicked, and then, the click rates there, all the views that happened, particular emails, the number of views that they had, the countries where they received the email and clicked on it. And then the actual, to give you an idea of the actual email, here's the email. I'll open that in a new tab there. So that is the actual email I sent out, just a text-based one. So that's an overview of it. And then if I wanted to create a new campaign, I can just come in here, design a campaign. I've already got my audience selected there, but I could use some of those segments. If I edited those, I could select some segments in there if I just wanted to create a new segment there. So a sub audience of those that, maybe I could create a segment of people that actually clicked on the links or viewed it, saying, oh, I see you viewed the email. Then, the subject, the content, and the content is then when you go into the design phase. I've got all these nice templates here that I can select from. And then I pre-fill them. So there's a whole bunch of out-of-the-box templates. So I could select, you can even go down to industry, arts and businesses, creative spaces. You don't get all
of those templates on the free version, though.
I am on the free version.
I think when you sign up now, I think if we signed up historically, we got a lot more benefits on a free version, but now the functionality is more limited.
Oh, you don't have that. Oh, okay, yeah. So I've been a member for a while, so maybe I get that. But yeah, so it's a kind of straightforward. I can add buttons and everything like that, and then you can go through and then send a test email, etc. So the tool is like the rich content editor part of it is like same experience as using Word, really, bolding, putting in tables, images, and all that kind of stuff. Cool. So that's a little overview of it. Karen.
Hi there. I just wanted to pick up on what Claire said about Canva. I worked out recently that you can use Canva, things that you've created on Canva in your MailChimp. And I was very pleased with myself when I worked this out, because I wanted to send out things about a litter pick, a poster that I'd created, and I also wanted to send out about a Halloween parish council Halloween party that I was organising, and I'd done all this fancy poster, and I wanted to be able to get the poster to go out via MailChimp to go to my 800 and something odd subscribers. So when you were talking about Canva, Claire, I just thought I would just raise that point, because actually it's been so useful, and it was really well received, and we had an absolutely fantastic event. And when I asked people about how they found out about it, they found out about it because of the MailChimp distribution that I did with the big colourful poster.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was most impressed that I could actually get the two to talk. So I thought if anybody else would like to know that about that, it'd be something really worth sharing, because actually once I'd worked it out, it wasn't hard to do at all.
Yeah, have a chat there. Might get to give a brief overview of Canva as well, a future event. But yeah, Canva is amazing. It's one of my favorite.
It's my favorite
apps. Yeah, my top three are Canva, a tool called Zapier, which enables you to do automations. It's a bit geeky, that one. And then I love Video, Veedio. Great. Cool. Caroline Higgins, do you want to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Hi, yeah, just checking. Is it easy to integrate the MailChimp templates or your emails into a Facebook group? We don't really have any subscribers at the moment, but we've got a new website and I want to kind of start to draw people in and direct people to it. And effectively that will be through a local Facebook community group.
So just explain which way round this is. You're using MailChimp to get more people into the Facebook group, or the other way around?
The other way round, really, to get sort of people, well, both really, to be honest, but the main thing is to access people's attention through the Facebook group, to get them to sign up to a website or to sign up to a newsletter, which doesn't yet exist.
So if you're sending out a MailChimp email to get people to sign up to the Facebook group, you can put a link into the button for the Facebook group.
The other way around.
I don't think you can do it the other way round.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
So you will be able to, in your Facebook group, if you gather those emails, obviously you can put those into a MailChimp email list, but you can't put MailChimp into your Facebook group.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
Okay, you could probably create, I mean, I don't know if on the free version, Claire, I've got it somewhere, but you can create a MailChimp sign-up form for subscribers. So
you can. I don't think you can do that on the free version.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what how much the paid version is, but normally to add subscribers and to follow GDPR compliance as well, you can create a sign-up form which you could drop onto Facebook to get them to enter their email address and consent to receiving emails. And obviously you have to have a reason why, a lot of people have a lot of newsletters, as Claire says. You want to have a compelling reason why they want, would make them go and sign up for it. But then you can feed them into your MailChimp. So it's like anywhere you can, even at the bottom of your like all your auto replies on all the signatures on all your emails, your council emails, just have sign up to our newsletter and a link to your sign up form on MailChimp. So you're always trying to collect emails wherever you are, whatever channel, Facebook, email, or video, or whatever. Like now, we could drop something in there if we wanted to. We've got a newsletter, we could drop a link in there. Maybe Jess or Shay will do that just to get people onto the mailing list. Yeah, good. Joy.
I'm coming in slightly differently because I'm from Yorkshire Local Councils Associations. So I use Canva at the moment, download loads of masses of training flyers out, bob them into an email. But my question is, obviously we're going out to 1,000+ members sort of thing the email distribution list will be, because it splits into all our different north, south, west Yorkshire that we send out to, and all councillors and all chairmen, but we hold the emails. So if you were on MailChimp, presumably I would then have to download all those separate set email boxes for all those, would I? So sort of like where you showed your little bits, you would then, because our email addresses are constantly can be altering. If a clerk goes and you get a replacement, if the email address alters, am I going to have to keep going in and out to constantly alter all that?
I mean, yeah, if an email address is no longer in use, you will have to go in and remove it. or they can unsubscribe from any email that you send them. So for GDPR, on every email that gets sent, at the bottom there is always an unsubscribe button, which is really useful. And then if they don't want to receive it anymore or whatever, they can unsubscribe themselves. Otherwise, you've got to go in and remove that email address.
Yeah, we would need to remove, because obviously what we're sending out, if they're not in membership anymore, we wouldn't want them to then receive. Or if a clerk's moved on, we have to sort of alter, unless it's a generic email address. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, that can be I mean, it's the same issue with all these different systems you use. You've basically got contact information in multiple locations. When you use a new tool, you basically got another CRM. So it can be a pain. You can use, like we use Zapier to kind of sync them all, but that's a bit technical. But I think you should write obviously, as Claire says, they can unsubscribe, but when you have a clerk leaving, you should have a clerk leaving process, because as you add more systems, you'll have more contact information in various places. So even from a good data management point of view, you have a leaving document checklist, remove from here, update this, remove from that. Because
we have a main big database, so everything's kept on an access database. So the clerk and the chairman's details are kept on there. So that's pretty quickly and easily dealt with. And then of course that forms all my queries. So when I do it by normal Outlook email, just grab the queries and grab them over. And then I just have a separate list for council. So they're pretty quick to solve. But once, as you'll say, once you go into more layers, then you've got more places to remember that you've got to take that out from. Yeah.
Good. Julie.
Hello, Claire. Just a question about importing contacts. You talked about importing using an Excel spreadsheet, which sounds easy, sounds the way forward. Can you tag them, or can you put tags in the Excel spreadsheet and then import, or would you need to import and then tag people?
Now, I don't know if you know any different to me, John, but I think that you import and then you tag once they're imported. And when you go to import your Excel spreadsheet, it will tell you what needs to go in what column, first name, last name, email address, or whatever. You have to put it in a specific order, because then as you start, getting more advanced with MailChimp, you might want to start your emails, Dear Julie, for example, and that's when it will need to know who those subscribers' names are. You put the little bit of code in at the beginning, and it will automatically pull everybody's first name through, or whatever personalization you want. So you have to upload it in the format it asks for.
Yeah, I think you can.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can
tag
in the import. The tags will, so normally you create the tags manually, but they'll automatically be created if you, as Claire says, you'll match it to that column and you can create it. So if you've already got, if you've got loads of segments, then it'll be a mission to manually do it afterwards. So I think on the import, it can do that.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, John. Claire.
We got some more questions. We got about scheduling, a few questions about sending multiple time delays or scheduling a whole bunch of emails, etc.
So I've just been going through the chat, and typing has been going through. When it comes to scheduling, if you signed up to MailChimp on the free version some time ago, you are probably lucky enough that you have the scheduling tool in there on the free version. If you sign up now on the free version, you do not get the option to schedule. You only get send now. So if you've got an account and you signed up a while ago, I'd go in and have a look, and you might be lucky. But it's great if you do have that tool. What it means is, if you wanted to write your email on a Monday morning, get it all set, you could schedule it to go Friday tea time or whenever you wanted. You don't have to physically send it at the time that you write it, or go in at that point. But as I say, they're on the free version that they offer now. If you sign up, that's not to be. But if you've got over 500 subscribers and you need to pay for MailChimp anyway, then you will get that functionality. So
Cool.
I hope that answers that.
Yeah. Any other questions? I've got a question to Claire and also generally anyone. What alternatives are there to MailChimp?
So you have got MailerLite, which also has a free option. So MailChimp is the most well-known email marketing platform that's out there, but you've got MailerLite, you've got ActiveCampaign. Depending on what website you've got, you might have an email marketing. I've got my website is Squarespace. I do all my email marketing for my business through Squarespace, but I do it for customers and clients through MailChimp. So they're all very similar. They're all drag and drop, and it is just a case of having a look round and seeing at the time what is the best version that's free for your requirements, because they're all slightly different. And just going and having a little look.
Anyone else using anything else? Is what's built into the Office 365 platform? I don't know if it has any emailing. There's nothing in Google Workspace, Google platform. But yeah, we're big users of ActiveCampaign. You have to pay for it at company, but there you can set up long, we have long workflows, which is good. We have like a 2 years worth of emails giving tips and tricks on various things that just sends out. Deborah, got your hand up. How are you doing?
I've sent Claire an email about the things that I need to learn more about. But I did learn how to do the other day with the assistance of my university student daughter, how to make a free survey in Google Docs or Google Work and put that into my MailChimp. So I was saying something about a conference. We wanted a conference. We need some ideas from you of when, where, and what sort of things you want on the conference. Here's a small survey, do it. And it worked really, really well because obviously your results all come through on a spreadsheet. So if you're looking at for venues, for example, you would just follow that column down. Or if you're looking for what they all think is the best time of day or the best date, you could just look through that column, and it worked really well. And it was very, very simple as well. So well worth, if you need a little survey in there, well worth trying that. And again, it's all free because it's Google Documents.
Oh yeah,
love Google Forms.
Rebecca.
Hi, I'm just thinking because we're considering kind of doing a newsletter for Wellington Town Council, but we have quite a good social media following and good engagement on there. What do you kind of find? Do you find that it's different audiences that sign up for a newsletter versus social media, or is there a lot of overlap? Or and also how would you want to bring in people to sign up to the newsletter that may not use social media necessarily?
Okay, so one of the things that I would always say to you is if your audience are in Facebook, for example, what are you going to do if Facebook closes tomorrow or goes down? You've lost your audience. By building up your email list, you've got that list. You've got your audience. No matter what happens, you know who they are. So, I mean, for us, it's slightly different. We don't have a lot of engagement on Facebook. So when I first started a couple of years ago, they were still going round the parish and printing out newsletters and hand delivering them. So what we did, because I know there was a question on the chat about how to get people subscribed, we did one final printed one, and on there we put all of the details to sign up. They all had to email through to me, give their consent, and then they went on the distribution list. For you, I mean, you could put in to Facebook, onto your Facebook page, the sign up link. You could create a sign up link for MailChimp, and you could start getting people on your mailing list. And it is a huge risk if you don't have a mailing list.
Yeah, that's good. So I think that probably at the bottom of an email signature, and I'm just thinking our clerk usually does a piece in, there's a buy a month every other month magazine that goes to all the households. So something in there just saying
that'd be
we have
perfect.
a newsletter now, that will get a lot of okay, that's good. I answered my own question there, but thank you.
No, you've got several channels. So if you can get the sign up details into social media, if you can actually get them out, it might be, we've got notice boards, so we put on the notice board, if in case anybody moves into the parish, they can clearly see how they can get that information. So use every avenue that you've got, but build up your mailing list so that you own it, basically. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you could also create, like if you're doing printed and like sometimes the sign up forms are long URL, you could just use a simple online service to convert that to a QR code. And then you can put the QR code into your print media and then you just scan it and it's signed up. I mean, and that just to add to Claire there as well. Again, getting the email, then you own the customer relationship. You're not reliant on any changes to platforms. You could also, you can also, like if you want to, you're generating content, whatever that may be, and it might be a long form content for newsletter. And I would just generate the long form content and focus on the newsletter first. And then you can just use tools like ChatGPT. I do this in another talk where you can reformat that content for other purposes, which could be, you could reformat for Twitter, Facebook posts, or anything like that. So once you put the effort into the long form content, ChatGPT is very good at shrinking it for other channels. And then you could then also, find out more and sign up to our newsletter, so you can, it acts as like a ad, all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and also, John, you can create QR codes in Canva.
Yes, cool.
So
Okay.
you can do it all in using Canva. You could design something and you can put a QR code in. I've just seen that Nikki's put in the chat, what happens to the elderly or those people in our community who don't have access to the internet. And as I was just saying a little bit earlier, it's about making sure that you're using every avenue in your marketing. So when we put those printed newsletters round to say that we were moving digital, we did ask people if they didn't have means to they weren't online, basically. And we do have about 10 people in the parish who still do get a printed version of the newsletter. But now we're only printing 10 and we're not printing 500. So we're not excluding them from our, from what we are telling everybody and our comms, but it's just making it cheaper and more efficient for the majority. So I hope that kind of summarizes that.
Yeah, we're posting 250 letters out today, and I haven't brought stamps in ages. 500 quid.
I know.
Spent 500 quid on stamps. I mean,
insane.
Ridiculous, so it's got so expensive. So getting it down to 10 and doing digital delivery is obviously much cheaper.
And you can also print it out. So even if it's even if you're doing it on MailChimp or MailerLite, you can actually print that out and then I can put it on my notice boards. So there is still a copy for people to go and read. So it's about making sure that we're capturing everybody in every way.
Thank you, Claire. Thanks for coming along to give an overview of MailChimp. And see you all later. Have a good day. Cheers. Bye-bye.